you know, the word emotion kind of distorts everything because, like, when you take the letter E and you equate that to the word feelings, you kind of mess up the motion of things. So remove the E and keep moving. That's what you do with
Spitting that E to the IMP. He's spitting that E to the IMP. He's spitting that E to the IMP. Ain't nothing but pimpin' these days. He's spitting that E to the IMP. He's spitting that E to the
Welcome back to another episode of Elevated Dialogue here on the Uncle Junior Network. I am the Uncle Junior, and on the panel today we have Antoine sipping his coffee. The other artist, Christopher. We have Dr. Thomas, the Easily Branch Easley, and we have Randall, I am about to retire Thompson. Victor, the reheated French fry, Viziant, will not be here tonight. So we salute you, my brother. Have safe travels. Enjoy yourself on your vacation. And, man, we will see you when you get back. Coach is supposed to pop in later on. Also, a couple other guests. As we speak, Chris, the perils of simply being me, McClellan, just popped in. So we appreciate you getting your internet and your struggle streaming and everything fixed, man. So glad to have you here.
Hold on, wait. But before you start, did you really call Vic the reheated French fry?
Yes.
I like it. I like it.
He's gonna be so. I can't wait till he see it. I hope he's watching now. He probably watching now while he's traveling, or he may not be. But if he is, shout out to you, Vic, the reheated French fry. I think that's the name of one of his blogs or something like that too. So he be
that's
in
his
there.
New nickname every time he comes on
It
the stream now.
Definitely
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling him. That's what I'm calling him.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the unks, the nephews, and women who support the channel and the show. And let's not forget about our servicemen out there. We salute you and thank you for your service. Shout out to the most elevated chat on YouTube. Thanks for I don't know what I just read. I have just read a typo right now, so y'all don't worry about that. I ain't even going to edit it out. How y'all doing today, man? How's everybody?
Good.
Everybody's good. Yeah.
Doing very well.
I am well.
Yeah.
I am well.
Yeah, me too, man. I had having a good week. Monday, man, I was supposed to take care of a couple of things, end up not working out, so I ended up having to reboot and do all of those things again today. So I was able to take care of it, man. It was just one thing, man. I had sitting in my pile of paperwork for over a year because I was avoiding trying to go to the courthouse because I was like, man, I'm being in the courthouse, I'm gonna be in line, like it'll be a pain in the butt. So I was just being avoided, but I got it done, man. Hey, just a heads up. If you're on Facebook, there's a little bit a longer delay. So if you want to be up to the second with the dialogue, jump over to the Uncle Junior Network. And while you over there, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, the notification button, so you will be notified as soon as another video drops. If you have a free finger or thumb, slide it over to that like button and show some love to the channel. All right. Y'all ready to get started with this topic about protecting men?
Protecting men, I thought it was.
Man, no, man, we switched it up. That's why I sent everything out. Don't worry about Antoine. It's all good. Hey, listen up. Don't worry about Antoine. We got you. I got you. Hey, look, men come in all different types, and many men and women see men as not needing protection, but they do. I believe that there are plenty of men that need protection, but that protection may not look like typical protection. Have you ever seen a situation where a man was about to do something that may cause him to get in trouble, but you did nothing? Or have you ever seen a man that was paying child support for a child that was not his? These are just two of many examples where men may need some protection. I understand that men will often I don't know what they're saying. Sometimes I can't read my own handwriting or my typing. Oh, here we go. I understand that men will often need to go through things and maybe these situations where it is better to let nature take its course. At the same time, do we on the panel have an obligation to protect the next generation of men? I say yes. And part of my purpose and journey is to give back the information I have learned. So I do believe that it is part of my job to protect not only myself, but also other men who choose to be receptive.
Hmm.
So kind of want to start with that. Kind of the first question is, what is your stance on men needing to be protected? Um, I can come up with some stories. There.
Okay, how about this? Protection
Mhm.
from what?
Well, we're going to get into it.
Okay.
We're going to get into different types, but just in general, what is your stance? Just do you feel like at any point or in any situation, do men need to be protected?
No,
I'll
no.
start with some, if you don't mind. Like the reason why I'm kind of my eyes are batting like this, like low, is because I'm not gonna say that I prided myself, but like I've never really felt safe anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear a man say that men need to protect it, it's kind of touching. It's kind of touching a heartstring right now, because I've never felt like that. It's like I mean, I did have a father and still do. I mean, I feel protected as a boy, and but now I feel like I have to protect him now, in his in his 70s. And I work. I mean, I know you did a lot of things to be protected from. It's not just a fight or anything like that. I mean, you just mentioned some other things, but I just hmm, I feel like I try to stay ready for war all the time. I never feel like there is a such thing as protection for me, and so that's just different for me to hear that. So that's why I'm kind of my eyes are like that because
Mm-hmm.
it feels the truth of what I'm saying is it feels good to hear that because I'm so ready, always ready to fight a world, that hates men, that hates, I mean, women too. I'm not saying hates women. I'm saying ready to fight in another way, not physically, but women too, because I feel like sometimes we need protection from women as well. So yeah. So you just kind of said something that was powerful right there. I didn't expect that. So I'll stop talking.
No, that's good. What would you want to say, Antoine or Randall?
I believe men do not need protection. Men need opportunity. We don't need protection. All right? Because every man should know how to throw down. Every man should know how to protect himself. Every man should be building every day. Right? But what a man needs is the opportunity to express all what he's worked for. And in the form of being, let's say, it's in the form of being in a relationship, a woman should protect you, as in fill in the gaps that you can't, give you the nurturing conversation in your head that you need to go forward. But the whole protection against what? Against the element of life, it's called life for a reason. No. All right. We all come from different forms of life. We all come from different places, different situations, but we don't need protection. We need opportunity to get ourselves out of a situation, opportunity that all what we build ourselves up to be to express it, our opportunity to lead, opportunity to do the protecting. But if we don't have that opportunity, we're stuck. So no, men don't need protection. And if you put yourself in a bad situation against another man, well, you walked into that bullet. That's on you, right? But no, we don't need protection. From what?
Like, I think Dr. Thomas hit the nail on the head. Is he said something about as a boy, our fathers protected us.
Right.
I'm a person. I'm a product of um, uh, a family with a dad, and then you know what I mean. I had that protection,
Mm-hmm.
but when I look at protection now, it's changed as one because I am a father, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, and I'm a son. But I'm also a leader in my community. So protection doesn't always have to be a physical thing. You know what I mean? Protection needs to be advice. So I give you an example, right? I had one of the people I lead in my unit. He came to me, called me up. Hey, Sergeant, like I was about to wig out on this dude, but I didn't. I took my time, explained them situation. So sometimes you have to get that person that advice, and they have to be receptive, like Uncle Junior said in his bling. They have to be receptive to that advice. So before they go out and make a decision, it's in their head. Like, oh snap, before me protect myself from myself. So they can do it themselves. Like you said, Antoine, they don't need it, but it's given in different ways. And it's a different way to look at it. Not always physical. Nothing's always had to be so physical and keep you tense. It can ease you and let you know, like, if I'm doing the right thing, I'm protected from this. I'm protected from that.
See, I think when everything you said, Antoine, that's how I already feel. I think that's why when Garfield said it, and I've never actually heard a man say it, that's what touched me, because I'm like, because I know he's a warrior. I know he's a fighter. I know he's a veteran. So to hear that come from a man who I know knows how to whoop ass, that touches me. You see what I'm saying? To hear a person who does protect, say, men need protection, because I'm not accustomed to that. You see what I'm saying? Because I feel the way Antoine feels. You see, like, that's actually how I feel. You see, and that's the life that I live.
Mhm.
See, I live like I don't need protection, but I don't say I don't need help. Help could be a form of protection. But I didn't think that until Randall said what he said. You see, because like I said, I'm thinking about just the defense. I'm thinking about always having to stand on my own too. I'm thinking about always having to take responsibility, for everything I do. But then if I meet somebody who can say, go this way, you may not have to work as hard. Oh, you just protected me from wasting energy then. You know what I'm saying? And that for me touches my heart, because as a man, I've always been told that you have to work hard, which I do. I mean, everything that I have, I actually own and I've earned. You know what I'm saying? But now just hearing that, it makes me go, I know I earned it. I know I own it for the next 40 years, because I want to live to be at least 100. Okay. For the next 40 years, if someone has some things that can protect me from doing what I did the first 40, that would be great. But I got it. I think the reason why I touch my heart is because somebody wants to. That's what it is, because I don't need it. But the way you said it, Uncle Junior, it sounded like you want to. And I think that's what touched me. Like, oh, someone wants to protect me. Huh. Let me hear. Let me hear that. Because I haven't heard that. So
It's
yeah.
it's intriguing that you say it like that. Like somebody wants to. And that's the purpose of these conversations. That's us putting ourselves out there to have that first line of defense when you go on that route. And just like you said, you work so hard for everything you have that at any moment, gone. So
Be gone.
what is my buffer? What is something that kind of, what is that ease of comfort when I have to, if I come like a coach said it yesterday, I put an alarm system in my house to be protected. You know what I mean? I do that so I have that buffer. So I know all right, let me get my other let me get my other thing. And so you have to run those things. But those kind of traps, we run those traps so we can catch it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we have these conversations. They're traps, not traps in a negative way. Understand this: when a hunter goes out and hunt, he's setting traps.
He's setting traps.
His prey. So we had these conversations together to catch these, to trap these ideas and trap these problems that we can. Oh, okay. Antoine, we was talking before we got started. Not Antoine, Uncle Junior was talking before we got started. The count was trying to give him something, do something crazy. So I asked the question, because if you don't ask the question, your mouth shut. You ain't eating.
You ain't getting eaten.
Yeah, so you get protected in that facet. But I don't. It's like you said, it's good to hear it. It makes sense, because now somebody's saying, hey, I got you. I got you. I'm gonna say I'm done my piece. My bad.
No, but that all what you guys are saying comes in the circle of the people you put yourself in. All that what you're saying comes. I mean, like my father said, he goes, son, you're protecting me now. I mean, my job is done. Now it's reversed, right? But you guys are talking about it like in a physical sense. I'm talking about it in a sense of needing protecting from what? What elements are you talking about? Because technically, and I'll say it again, the people you surround yourself with are the ones protecting you 24/7. My friends protect me 24/7. The people I put myself in front of, it's not their job to protect me, but they'll say, hey, bro, you're going off in the wrong deep end. They give me advice. But,
I think, that's when I hear what you're saying. I actually think it's interesting what you just said. The first thing that you said about protection, you made it physical. because you said I don't need anything. Then when we started talking, we made
Right.
it something else, like
Okay.
emotional and mental. Now you just made it emotional and mental. I just wanted to say that because the
Right.
first thing you said was about this. You see,
Well, yeah.
so
First thing a man needs to, I'll still hold down with that. First thing a man
Oh yeah,
needs.
no. I'm saying no. You said we were making it physical. We
Uh,
didn't make it physical.
no,
You
when
were
I
the one
say
that
you
you
made it
said
physical,
physical.
when I say you made it physical, as in a
Mm-hmm.
sense, when I say physical, in a sense of
Mm-hmm.
somebody else coming in and giving you advice, right?
Okay.
And when somebody,
Oh,
yeah, when
is
somebody
that more mental?
they wouldn't be if they're physically there telling you something. I mean, that's how I'm looking
Well,
at it.
I get no. I think what I'm
But if
thinking
they're
about
physically
is
there telling you something and it has something to do
Mhm.
with changing your mindset, then it
Right,
would be mental.
Right,
You're talking
but
right.
about the
right,
physical presence in itself, which
right,
is the kind of
Mm-hmm.
protection that I'm not gonna lie, I never had.
right,
I'm
Mm-hmm.
jealous of all of you because you all had dads. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. Everything that
right.
I'm learning, I learned off the cuff. You understand what I'm saying? So, if we're going
Mm-hmm.
to talk protection, I'm not going to talk physical.
Mm-hmm.
We need guidance.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. And
Mm-hmm.
guidance is a form of protection because a lot of people can see you making the wrong move and say, hey, you need to chill out because you're about to make the wrong move. You can either be receptive to it and say, all right, let me look at it. Okay, I might be wilding out, let me chill out. Or you could be like, man, forget you, old head, and then go do it anyway. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that's that unreceptive behavior. And like Vic said last time, sometimes it's a rinse and repeat. Sometimes you gotta repeat. Hey man, you're doing this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
And
gonna
like,
get back, and I was gonna get to this second part of that. A lot of us need to get our asses whooped because some of us have a hard head, and a hard head make a soft ass. That's what my mom used to always say. So if you ain't gonna listen, all right, go knock your head a few times, then come back and tell me I was right. You understand what I'm saying? We
Mm-hmm.
need guidance, and we need to get to a position where we're respected enough to give it and not get as much pushback as we have been. So I'm gonna just
I
leave it at that.
I like what you said, Chris. There's some, and thank you for sharing that because there are a lot of people who've had fathers who still didn't get any guidance. And I think that at my 44 years of age, like I didn't get financial guidance. I'm now teaching my family about finances, and I'm the son. You know, which kind of goes back to like, which I appreciate what Antoine opened up with. I'm like that because that's the mindset that I have. You see what I'm saying? I don't have the mindset that someone is going to have my back. Someone's going to fix my insurance if something happens. Someone's going to come and pick me up. Like if I get injured, I don't have that. So I think that, but I think it's like I feel like what Antoine said that men don't need protection. What I actually disagree with is that I don't think that that's a true statement. I don't think men don't need protection. I think we do, but I think that until you know what against, like it's like you don't know you need it until you run into something, and then you go, oh man, I sure wish somebody would have told. You see what I'm saying? And so for me, I think that's the only thing. Like I think if I take the ego out of it, I take the toughness out of it. Okay, because that's the thing that I see. It's like like I said, when Uncle Junior opened up, that's what touched me. It took the toughness out of it because a tough man just said that. You see, it was like, oh, okay. So you see, so I don't got to be hard in this room. I don't have to protect myself in this room. Okay, so I can be like, okay, well, you know, brother, tell me some more about that. Because I haven't heard that because I'm always on guard. You see what I'm saying? I'm always ready to snap back. I'm
Yeah.
always ready to have a comeback versus being able to go, okay, because see, the thing I notice is that when I'm around Garfield, I don't prepare for a snapback. You see, when I'm around most people, I'm always ready to clap back. So that means that when I'm around most people, right, they need protection from me because they don't realize how much of an asshole I can be,
But
especially
okay,
being a doctor. But when I'm around someone else who I know is tougher than me, or someone who I know knows has like other skills. Or I put it like this: whenever I'm in someone else's house, that's probably when I calm down. When I'm in my house, I'm always like warrior ready. When I'm out, you know what I'm saying?
really,
With my look, yeah, I'm always warrior
really.
ready. But if I go to
You have
Garfield's
to be.
house,
It's your
I'll
house.
calm down. Yeah, it's my house. You see what
You
I'm saying?
have to
Like
be.
I don't. Like
Oh my God.
no one can protect me. You know what I mean? But if I come to your house, right, like I know not saying I get lazy. I don't mean. I'm just saying I'll be like, oh, good, okay, it's some more muscles in the
I
house.
can chill.
All right, okay, I can
That
relax a
part.
little bit,
That
Chill.
you know.
part.
And because I know he a veteran, I know he's a martial artist. Yeah, okay, all right, I
Yeah.
can, because I can box, but I'm sure you can do more than me.
I
You know what I
just
mean?
know.
So
I
yeah,
just
so that's what I mean.
I
Here's
can't. I like that, but it's very strange to me to be on like guard 24/7 and that mindset. Well, here's the difference where I look at it,
Mhm,
because that's what I do day in day out. That's
yeah.
what I do. Right when I come
mhm,
home, it's like it's not that I'm not prepared. Like, let's be honest, right? If
mhm.
you reach
Oh yeah,
behind
I'm
my
sure.
couch,
I'm sure.
reach behind my couch, you might find something. It's not that me not walking
I'll keep
Oh
around,
my
shit,
hands in the
you
front.
got the artillery.
right? But
Hands stay in the front.
it's that knowing that. But like I'm saying, you, I've set myself up to be in that predicament, to be in those ways. I can do those things. I can take that action. I can be protected
Yeah.
in that way. But then
Right.
here's the best part.
What's up?
Antoine said it. The people around me protect me. So if I
Yeah.
need to
Hmm.
go back,
Hmm.
prime example, talking to my dad the other
Hmm.
day. Hey, Pop, I'm thinking about buying a house. Yada yada yada. I'm thinking about doing this. He walked me down a couple steps I didn't think about. Hey, son, don't walk in there talking about how much money you got. You keep your pocket safe. Don't let nobody know that. You walk in there, ask a couple questions, and you leave. You go in there. You the person going there. You the person with the money. They need your paper. Man, dang. All right, Dad. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. So you go back home. Now you got look. Now you got another buffer because you're gonna walk in there and get got. And now I'm not. Not per se it won't happen, but but I know I got notes. Like I'm right now, I'm typing while y'all talking. I got my page open, typing my notes in because you got to study these things. You got to study the way to be. You got to study to be protective. Because you, as a doctor, you protect your family because they see now. Oh, I got somebody I can emulate. Antoine said it last time. Go out and be like that man. Go out and be like that man. How's he protecting? How is he showing that? So now that next man up can see what you're doing, he can do it for everybody else down the line and
Hmm.
continue that put it forward, pay it forward. So this is where it,
Yes,
it
sir.
changes. So when we take Antoine's initial point of physical protection and we take it down online, it starts at physical because when we first walk in there, we need somebody to hold us, make sure we good, shoes are tied. Then we get over, hey, sit down, boys, do your homework. Antoine said the last podcast. My father told me, get off the cartoons, get my head into the doggone books. That's protecting us to making stupid decisions on a consistent basis. So it's a nice little flow chart that you got to wave on, and that's where that deepness and that feeling of protection comes from. And like Chris said, he may not have had it. He learned these things on the cuff, but now he sees where he needs to put his pieces, and he sees where he can maneuver and do it the right way.
Yeah.
And
I got a story, man, a little small story. So I remember and this kind of speaks on, some of the things that Antoine was talking about, and somebody else like with the wolf pack and then having a circle and the people around you who you surround yourself with. I remember back in 1995, that's when I got stationed at Fort Carson. I was a young private. I was like 19 years old or so. And I had a very, very, very great group of dudes that was around me. You know what I mean? They like
Hmm.
brought me under their
Hmm.
wing. If anything was going down, they was like, look, young private, you don't need to be over there. You don't need to be doing. Did I get in trouble? Yes, I still got in trouble. But here's the thing: the people that surrounded me, they made sure that I didn't do things to get myself in trouble. Let me
Hmm.
fast forward. Now, back then, I was combat engineer, all males, never worked with females. The only time we saw them was here and there, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, I got out the military, went back in 3 years later, became an air traffic controller, started working with females. Things were different. I remember one night I was about to get in a fight, and instead of my boys being like, "Hey man, you need to stand down. Like you don't need to be getting in no trouble," they were like egging it on. You know what I mean? So the difference in the type of dudes that I surrounded myself, one protected me, one did not. Yes, though it was my decision to still go out and fight and do all of those different things. But I would say at the same time, it would have been good. I take 100% accountability. I did then and I do now. It would have been nice to have a wolf pack that would say, "Hey, look, bro, you don't need to be right here. Stand down, bro." You know what I mean? So that's where sometimes every man is not necessarily fortunate to have the smarts to pick the right friends or the right group of guys to hang around. And then everybody, maybe didn't get it from at home either. So I do believe that there is a group of guys out there who do need some sort of protection. And it comes in different forms. Like Chris said, one of those forms is guidance. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting guidance from you guys right now, and I'm getting information that's going to help me and that's going to protect me in other ways. So I look forward to it.
But see, here's the difference between the 5 of us on this platform and the general public. We all respect each other. So we're all willing to listen to each other just out of respect and out of the fact that you've had the experiences. A lot of cats out here don't respect their predecessors or the people that are giving them guidance, because their guidance comes from a place where they didn't have the knowledge that they needed themselves. So they're just repeating the same cycles. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. So you guys are talking about it like it's like it's a major deal. Listen, first of all, as a man, I don't put myself where I'm not wanted. I don't put myself where I'm not wanted. If somebody invites me to a party, what's the look like? Where is it? I'll drive my own car because I want to leave when I want to leave, right? A man is not a man. If you're going to lead, you have to put yourself in the environment that you know you have control of. You don't have control of what other people do. If you hear a gunshot, if you stay there, that's on you. You have to understand, I don't go nowhere unless I know where I'm going. People say they need guidance. Guidance from what? You know where you're headed. You know what you're supposed to do. You know what you do when you wake up in the morning and when you come home. You know the route you take from home to work. If you decide to take a detour to get something to eat and you go into a bad neighborhood,
so
your guidance in your head should tell you I'm in a bad environment.
What about your mentor? You have a mentor. So explain mentor. You have a mentor. Isn't he providing guidance?
My mentor provides guidance in this way. All right. I need something. I call him up because he has the experience of it. What do you think? He's going to give me the utmost advice. Okay. I'm going to take it, process it, and decide if I'm going to do it or not. Men need to understand, if you're going to lead, you got to lead all the way. If you don't have strong leadership in your life, your job is to find it, right? Your job is to find it. Your job is not to be pity-potty about it. You got to man up.
Put your ego aside. You cannot. You got to put your ego aside enough to actually figure out.
In life, it's called manning up for a reason. And stop looking for the excuse of why you're not manning up and man up. I really don't care about the environment outside of my life because I can't control that. I care about.
I think I see what it is. Antoine said pity. He said pity, and there's also something about the softness. I think all of us agree with that part. Matter of fact, I think that's the thing. I think that just discussing it doesn't make it soft. So I want to say that, what I'm saying. But I think that what you're saying, no one here disagrees with. I think the tone that you have is the way all of us live our life. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, I think I know so because we all are in either relationships or we're handling business or we're doing something. So I think that you can see that when you see how everyone is living. But I think that when you think about like those people who don't have folks in their life to give them the kick in their butt when, when they go astray, which I think that's what I think actually you and Garfield literally just said the same thing, because Garfield said, I know I made my own decisions. It just would have been nice if I would have had this other resource in my life. Then to me, that resource goes back to what Antoine said at the beginning, opportunity. So what I'm saying is I think we're all saying the same thing, but I think that's why I said when Garfield, and see, I think that this is why I said I feel comfortable in this space. Take the ego out and the toughness out. See, I'm not talking about someone to hold my hand and walk me through, you know what I'm saying? Right. I'm not saying, I'm not talking about a shoulder massage. I don't see, that's the thing. And I don't think any of us here are talking about that. I think we're all talking about the same thing. When you don't know something, when you might need a little help processing a thought, I think if you know it all, then you don't need any guidance. And I don't know anybody who knows it all. Okay. So then to me, guidance is a form of protection. Just like I think that protection is a form of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Opportunity could be a form of guidance, you know. So I think that we're all kind of saying, you know, like I think we're literally saying the same thing. Okay. But it's like, but I appreciate what Chris said when Chris said, you know, that we respect each other. And then that's why I said it's the tone. Because I realized that if we, you know, and see, that's the reason why I said when Garfield said it, it took the toughness out for me. I'm like, oh wow. Like, you know, because I heard a man that I know can whoop ass say that. You see, and when someone who I know is a warrior says that, I want to listen to them. See, it's one thing to listen to a dweeb, you know, which I think this is what Antoine is saying, not be, I need protection. I don't think that's what we're talking about.
No,
I
that's
think
not what
we
we're
talking about, yeah, you know, I think that what we're talking about is, I put it like this. What I think Garfield is talking about is the same thing you're talking about, is what Randall leaned to when he said, whoa, you feel like that in your house? You see, because see, I'm so tough about it, right? You know, like, yeah, like that's how I feel in my house. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to protect us, I got to do that. And then, but yeah, I mean, I have a neighbor, you know, who protects me. I protect him. He lives right across the street. You know, Muslim. He knows that I understand his religion. You know, I did something for him 3 months ago. This man treats me like a brother now. You know, so you know I have that, but he's not at his house 24/7. You see what I'm saying? So I don't. You see, so that's not something that I can depend on. I got a neighbor right here. Right, we look out for each other. She's great. I look after her dog. She waters my garden. This guy here, Mail goes to his house. He brings it here. So I'm in a place where I'm technically safe. But I also understand something. Everybody ain't black. So if something goes a certain way, I got to be mindful of that. Everybody ain't a man. So if something goes another way, I need to be mindful of that. Everybody's not my age. So if something go, you see what I'm saying? So even though I'm in a community where in some ways I'm protected, there's always something else that I don't know and that I may not see coming. And it's good to be in a community of people who at least open up, you know, and say, hey, brother, I got your back. Because to me, that's a form of protection, you know, to say I got your back and to feel it, because it's not something that I'm accustomed to. I'm accustomed to having other people's back and having to have the money for them. I'm still not accustomed to asking people for money, you see. And that's why I agree with Antoine. See, I agree with you, right? See, I don't think that I should have to ask or be able to ask somebody for something, but damn, it sure would be nice if I did fall on hard times where I
again.
didn't have to ask somebody and somebody probably just offered it, you know, but I'm not even the type who would ask,
Okay,
you
doctor.
know, because I feel like what you said.
Okay, and doctor, I agree with all what you said, right? So
Mhm.
I ain't scared to ask none of the circle of friends that I have for money. My ego goes out the window with them because they protect me. If I know I'm down, they know if they're short of money. Oh, let me call Antoine because I know I'm getting paid back. If you borrow $20 from me or $100 from me and you don't pay me back, it costs me $100 to get rid of you for life, right? For
I
life.
learned that from a Bronx Tale.
Okay.
I learned that from
For life.
Antoine.
So
I learned that from Antoine.
I learned that from a Bronx
I don't
Tale.
know what the Bronx tale is, but I get rid of
A
them. For life. I
classic
don't
movie.
need the
It's
money
a
back. I
it's
lent
a
it to you because I could afford to lend it to you, meaning I don't need to worry about it coming back to me because I could afford to give it to you. Now, if I didn't have a father, if I didn't have a brother, I didn't have this. My father always told me, go, son, if I'm not around, you go find what you need to replace me. All right. And he didn't mean him as a person. He meant the structure of what he built. Right. And if anything ever happens to me and your mother gets a new man, I don't need you to like him. I need you to respect him. I don't need you to like him because I'm your father. You like me, you respect him, but you watch out for your mother in the end. And if the fire is burning, grab her first and leave his ass to burn because you really don't know the man. And he's right. So I tell if I grew up fatherless, I'm gonna find it. I tell all the kids that I mentor with artwork, and they all tell me, oh, you know, I don't have a dad at home. I don't know what to do. I said, you have teachers. You have to find it. You have to find that best friend. You have to find that person you can cry in front because nothing's more powerful and nothing shows more strength than being able to show emotion and cry because then you're letting the person know you need help. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. I'm okay with that, right? Because the way you were talking about the form of protection men need. The form of protection that men really need is in the courts when it comes to a divorce and the kids aren't there. They all right, and the kids are,
Man,
I know right off the
Ooh.
bat. I know right off the bat. Right off the bat.
Let's
If
get
I'm going
into
into
it. You
court,
got that shit right.
if I'm going into court, it's true. If I'm going into court, I know right off the bat the woman has 95% of chance of walking away with my kid.
And I
Now,
worked in family court, so I've seen it.
and I'm prepared for that. And I go, okay, you know what? I got to make this as nice as possible so I get 50-50, right? Nice as possible. So I put myself in that position that she will never be able to say I wasn't a good dad, right? So I'm able to say that. I'm able to have proof, and I'm able to show I was a good dad. It just didn't work out between her and I. So men need to put themselves in an environment. You need to find the people that are missing in your life first. Part of the building process, right? Rather it be a teacher, because you gravitate toward that teacher that just got your back, maybe a gym class, maybe a math class. You know good people you can cry in front of, right? I believe that. At the end of the day, there's some. I can still shed a tear today. I watched the movie the other day, and I'm not going to say what it is, and that thing just woo, right? And I had to call my buddy. I said, dude, you ever see this movie? He goes, dude, I bawled at this movie. I'm like, oh, good, because I feel comfortable now telling you, right? So I put myself in the circle of friends that I'm able to express this. And anybody outside of that circle, I don't have to worry about it because I can't control what they do anyways. That's all.
See,
Yeah,
and
I got you.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that you need to be around some men that you can be emotional around and not feel like you a punk.
Right.
There's this overreaching, extraordinary need to be tough. And if you show any kind of emotion, you are automatically viewed as a punk. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I meant by we need guidance. We need guidance to understand that we have emotions and we need to know how to figure out how to process those emotions in a positive manner and not in a negative, I'm going to tear your head off kind of manner that'll lead you in the wrong direction. I am so glad you brought up the emotional side of this.
It's true, dude. It takes more strength to be gentle than it does to be an ass.
So let me give y'all a brief.
Real quick. Hey, real quick. I'll let y'all get back to it. Hey, we want to welcome to the show,
Antoine
Issa,
with the jewels.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, this is
you got that shit right.
Issa, good advice, mentorship, and enlightenment. Ali, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Welcome to the show, brother. Welcome to the show.
Greetings, sir.
Greetings, sir. Man, this is gonna be me tap in and real quick.
Yeah, he definitely gonna rock with it. But go ahead, Randall. I know you or Chris, one of y'all was speaking.
So this is the crazy part, right? I'm 6'3", I'm 275 pounds, right? My wife is 5'3", 120 pounds. You understand me? The difference, right? I walk in my house, and 90% of my family is smaller than me. I mean, you gotta be honest, 90% of the world is smaller than me. So I gave somebody an example. I said, when I start getting upset, I start breathing. I suck up a lot of oxygen. When the room is small and I'm breathing, everybody look at me like, oh snap!
He about to tear some shit up.
Big dog here. Hey, so I walk around. My boy calls me pleasant. My partner calls me pleasant. And I'm like, it's not that I'm pleasant. It's the fact that I know doggone well, if I get upset, everybody gonna look at me differently. And that's the conscientious part of me protecting myself. If I don't handle the situation with poise, professionalism, then I'm viewed as an angry black man. I'm viewed as violent. So I tell people all the time, I said, if you ever see me upset, something is extremely wrong. Somebody has either disrespected me, came from my circle. So because you gotta operate different. So Antoine, you ain't wrong. Like you gotta know sometimes, hey, look, you gotta know that you gotta know.
Hey, you guys started on it, so let's keep it going then. In what ways do men need protection? I know someone talked about child support.
I think
Chris talked about guidance. So in what ways do men need protection?
I think knowing how to carry yourself in different environments. I think which I think Randall kind of, to me, I was listening to your brother. You got the home, and then you got when you leave the home. And of course, it sounds like when you're around family, people know when you get mad. Like they can probably tell, like, oh, he's getting mad, or he get mad, chill out. But people who don't know you, I think that's where, I draw concern, but I would draw concern for any black man. Like, if me and Antoine like walking down the street and we ain't mad, we just walking. and then someone looks at us and like and we both got the same look. Or what pissed me off is someone would assume that they're in danger. And we just walking. Oh, so now I got to fake a smile so you feel safe with me. So, that's another form of, I think, like protect or like maybe awareness at times. It's an unfair thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's right. And I'm saying that because this happened to me. Walking and someone moves away because I'm just walking like this. And I'm like, what? I'm listening to Ice Cube. What's the problem?
Crazy if you're walking like this. No, I'm just I just like
But they could probably think that too, though. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, I'm just in my zone. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not thinking about anything. So I think that's another form, of like, and maybe protection. Another word could be awareness.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like, hey, brothers, be aware. And I'm gonna say this. And I ain't saying it to be nice. There's some punk people out here that will see you and think you're gonna do something to them just because you're not cheesing. So just be mindful of that. But that's just another one that I think is awareness. I'll stop and hear something.
I'll even piggyback off. I think men need protection in the form of having the right men around them to teach them how to become men.
Ooh.
That's what I think.
Did you say having the right or having
the right
to
people around them to teach them how to become men? Right?
I tell people all the time, I don't let so many people around my children for that reason.
But you want the right people around your children, right?
I introduce my children to successful men. Well, I'll say this. I introduce my children to successful people, people that are teachers,
right?
People that are blue-collar tradesmen.
There you go.
And people that have different professions. And I introduce those people to them so they can see that success does not always have a one-size-fit-all. Success has different things. And so when my son sees another man walk into the house, the first thing he does is speak to my wife. First thing you do, speak, hey, Miss Thompson, how you doing? Marindale, how you doing? Kids, how you doing? We got an order in here. And I don't bring a man going, what's up, dog? Yeah. Oh, ain't time for that. My kid's still up. Ease up. I don't bring that around. And that's a learned trait from my father and my other mentors. Because when I walked in their house, they said, hey, whoa, you already know I'm here. Speak. Have the conversation, have dialogue. So when you choose the right men around you, just like Uncle Judy said, it'd be nice to have the right people around me. So I'd have prevented this kind of trap. It'd been nice to have somebody around me where I could have had the conversation. So now, for example, we deployed, they talking about the SDP program, save it, put a 10,000 and get 11,000 on the way out. You learned about that 6 months and you like, where my mentor? Where my other men? Were they supposed to tell me that? But if you'd have asked a question, you'd had the right men, right choices, the right men around you, you will progress. And then Antoine said something. Once something's lacking from them, you go find it from somebody else. Because every tree outgoes the pot. You get what I'm saying? Every tree outgoes the pot. It's just you got to get planted in somewhere different. You got to. So you got to get planted somewhere different. When you're planted somewhere different, new experiences, new taste, new sound, new feeling.
And as men, we are so ego-driven that I can guarantee you the only reason we make mistakes in life is because we put our ego before asking the right person for that guidance. So we make those mistakes because we don't ask for the advice. We do it, and then we go, shit, Dad, I should have listened to you. That little inner voice, that little inner voice is actually somebody in your life. If it ain't God, it's somebody in your life that you shouldn't. So what are you going to do? You still want to be that man and do it yourself. And then when you F up, you're like, God damn it. What are you gonna do?
And that's what I meant by sometimes we need to get our head busted. Sometimes we gotta learn the hard way. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes we gotta learn the hard way. If you can't put your ego aside and say, all right, I don't know much about what I'm about to do. I don't know which way this is. Let me go find somebody that's doing this so that way they can at least help me map something out. So that way I know which direction I need to go, and you go do it anyway, and you bust your ass. That's the part of accountability that we need to face too. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we're willing to bust our ass. That's what I'm saying. Men are ego-driven. Women are emotionally driven, right? So we take accountability because we got our ass busted, right? They don't take accountability because there's nobody there, because everybody that tells them their friends cushion the blow. You know what I mean? They cushion the blow.
I'm gonna mute my mic.
I'm just gonna say that they get the
Because you do not want me to go down this road.
Listen, when we're overweight, and when we make mistakes, and when we're
Chris is agreeing with that.
You got that
we
shit
have
right.
We have that friend.
Chris agreeing with that.
I tell my son.
Don't tell me you haven't seen a friend in a long time and you look at you and go, damn, bro, what have you been eating?
I tell my son,
Uh-huh.
real men, a man. I tell my son, when a man cries, it costs money.
Yeah.
It costs money.
Uh-huh.
Because when you get to that point where you and now let's be honest, there's situations where death, something that when you start crying because you can't pay rent, hey, that it costs you some money, don't it? You up there showing them, and I refuse to tell my son he can't cry. But like y'all said, you got to be comfortable in an environment where you can shed that tear, so somebody can say, "Hey, it hurt, don't it?" I give you a prime example, right? I'm in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, right? I went out there and got down on DUI. I tore all that crap up. I'm in the first sergeant's office. Uncle June, cry my. It cost me about $10,000. You know what I'm saying? Because it costs. And so and I tell people all the time, every day, every time I get paid, right, I still missing money from that situation. Yep. So I look at my check. I said, "Dog, could have been bigger, dog. You made a mistake." You know what I mean? But I had somebody held me accountable. Boop, 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 boop. And then when I start holding myself accountable, I start protecting myself differently. Not like on guard all the time, but I started, whoa, back up, think. I started being more logical. Killer Mike says it, plot, plan. You know, I started making different plans in my life. And when I did that, it changed. And so when I ran into group, so we ran into this group, I run into a group of men like y'all, and you guys give me different information. I'm receiving that. Right. And then I start making other decisions. I can go to Uncle John, I can go to Antoine, I can go to Brother Ali, I can go to Dot, I can go to Chris. Hey man, I got this plan. I need a sounding board. Throw it back to me. What you say, what you see. And it changes and it protects me from making those life decisions that will make me struggle. It keeps me out the courtroom where I know I'm about to get taken advantage of. It keeps me in the pocket of being financially stable, being financially educated, being financially smart. It keeps me in that pocket of success. You know what I mean? Or we like to say in the military, that winning streak. It keeps me on the win streaks. And it's important because psychologically, when you want to feel good, and that protection makes you feel, okay, I'm supported. If I'm supported, and it feels good to be supported. And and that's one thing I can say. It's very strange, not strange. It's you don't hear it enough to say, "Hey, I'm supported. I got men that support me."
Yeah. What you just said, Brother Randall, like you said what I felt in the beginning when Garfield said that. It's like that's why I felt like that was it. I was trying to find the word, but I didn't have it. When he said it was like, whoa, I got that kind of support, because I'm so used to not having it. You know what I'm saying? I'm so used to, like I said, and I appreciate everything, and what you've been saying. Like I feel what he was saying. So then when I heard that, it was like, oh. It was a little bit. It was like, oh, okay, thank you. But it was just like, oh, all right, I can let off a little bit. What I'm saying? I can take a breather. Man, when you work, and I can tell everybody here works hard for what they have. When you work hard, for what you get, I don't want anyone to easily come in here and take it from me. I don't want anyone, and I don't want to, even I can't do anything when I'm dead. But I don't want to die and then know, like that, like that is gone. So I mean, I'll be honest, I put a lot of things in place. So if something happens to me, mom and dad, lady, my sister, people are taken care of. But I'll admit, another way that I've needed protection or support or opportunity or accountability is for when a brother sees me talking bitter, when a brother sees me being, I'm gonna say like this, overly emotional, because I don't know about y'all, but when you've done a lot and got burned, and not burned because you didn't get advice, and not burned because you didn't go down the path that you were suggested, got burned because you were lied to. You know what I'm saying? Got burned because you were doing it the right way, but you still ran into the devil because right, it's still out there. Like you can't always avoid mistakes. You can try, okay, and you can be intentional. Like I didn't, I didn't drive down this street. I went down that street because it was safe. And oh wow, on that night, that's when the gangs were there. You know what I'm saying? So I can say that that's the other kind of protection, is to have brothers, and maybe that's more like wisdom, like brothers who can help me not overreact when something happens. When I get agitated, hey, bro, Thomas, maybe you need to look at it this way. Maybe you need to calm down.
But
You
that's
know what I'm saying?
perspective.
Maybe, yeah. And I think, and then I
That's
think that goes
perspective.
back to what Antoine said. Like when you don't have something, go find it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying? Like, go and run for it. But I also think that there's something to be said about when you find and when things still go wrong. And then it goes back to what Chris was saying about being accountable, because it's like, okay, like knowing what you did, knowing why you did it, knowing how you did it. Because even with all of the protection, right, you still can never have any protection, all protection from making no mistakes at all in life. So I definitely think that having that perspective and having that wisdom is another form of protection or opportunity or support.
Yeah, I agree.
And and
Hey,
and why
shout out
why
to Charlotte. The way the world has changed, I believe our boys as well as our men have to look out for each other. Um,
In
look
any
out
shape
for
or
each
fashion,
other in any shape or fashion. Yeah,
especially
especially as
black
black
men.
men.
I don't even believe, especially as black men, we should look out for one another as a human race, man. Black, what? I mean, really, who you surrounding yourself with? Last time I checked, you ain't no millionaire, and there's more white millionaires than black. And where do I want to learn my lesson from? What the hell? I'm not gonna pick sides.
I think it's not about that. I think it's more so it's like, because we are black, at least if you're going to, especially as black men, we need to. Because most of the time, if you're black, at least for me and most of the people I know, just because I'm black, most of my circle of people are black. Like I have white friends, Asian friends, Jamaican friends, all different types of people. But the way I grew up, just most of the people I know and have been around my entire life had just happened to be black. And it may also speak to the point to where is that she may see it more in her community, and maybe that's why there's an emphasis on black men, not to take away from any other culture or set of group. But I can't speak for her.
Uncle Junior, you just
Definitely.
said something that's very critical to us as black men. Um, the number one thing we need protection from is ourselves.
Ooh,
And
period.
I'm saying that because we have, and this is going to be unpopular, we have religious institutions that have taught us that to be a man is to be a sacrificial lamb, so to speak. Like we're supposed to give our whole lives, our whole entire being, our livelihood, and everything that we work hard for our wives, children, and family. Okay.
Yeah, for everybody else.
And for everyone else.
It's
So
like we throwaways.
exactly. So we have to, as black men, look at ourselves in the mirror and find our own true value. Like what do you mean to you? And as the sister pointed out, as black men, I've been surrounded by black men and black people my whole life. So if it's anybody that's to never rob me, cheated with my old lady, got me for pounds of weed when I was in the streets hustling, all these people were black. Okay, there's never been any white person that has came up to me and got me for anything. Everybody that's to never stabbed me in the back, when I looked around and seen the hands on the back of the knives, they was always black people. Okay, and most of the often they were black men. And that's because in the black community, we have this unbridled spirit of competition, which has been instilled in us through the fundamental things like sports and football. And I'm from Canton, Ohio, Pro Football Hall of Fame. So football was born where I'm from. So the spirit of competition where I'm from is extremely, extremely intense on every level of life. There's no such thing as number two. Everyone here has to be number one. So what happens is, I had a saying, like, they only call it a sport, but when you got the physical involved with pork, these are the things that'll poison your thought. Okay, so it's like these competition and what we would call and consider games
has instilled this spirit of competition within us that ultimately feeds our egos. And once you get your ego involved in anything, like that's what's killing us, number one. You know, because all of us, if we could transport ourselves back to 1970, everyone on this panel, whether I knew y'all or not, we would wake up in the morning, have our bowl of cereal, watch Scooby-Doo. Okay, we would go outside, we would ride our bikes all day long, and we'll probably get in maybe one or two little pushing matches over something stupid. But by the end of the day, we're still waiting to see each other tomorrow. Okay, and do the same thing again tomorrow. But when you interject females and money, you interject hate and the things that's causing us problems today. So that's what we need protected from, in my humble opinion.
I just want to say, brother Issa, thank you for that. That's why I said in the beginning, if you take the ego and the toughness out, you know, I said the heartstring got pulled when Uncle Junior said what he said, because I was like, oh, like, you know, and you know, and I said, I don't like when I come in here, I'm not coming in here to clap back. I'm coming in here to learn, so I can sit that aside. But I know once I get out of here, it's like, all right, you know, who else wants some? You know, and so it just feels good to take that, you know what, football, it feels good to take that gear off, so even just for like an hour or two. And Chris, I'm loving your expressions, man. So let me be quiet because I know you got something cool to say. So I'm gonna just back. I just
Oh
want to
no,
say that.
I'm chilling. I listen, man. I'm. This is one of those times where I'm a fly on the wall because I'm hearing from a bunch of men who had men to tell them this stuff. I never did. Like, I'm learning this stuff. Like, I had my godfather, I had my uncles, but I didn't have nobody in the house to tell me to sit my ass down somewhere if I was wilding out, or to tell me, okay, I see you going this way, why don't you go this way and life will be easier for you. I never had that. So I'm listening. But the main thing that everybody on this panel is talking about is ego and how we need exactly and how we need to let go of the ego, because the ego is what's killing us. I shared this when we got off of a live stream before. I'm a cancer survivor. I'm not allowed to have an ego because at any given moment, my life can be taken from me. You understand what I'm saying? Because I had cancer. It's the one thing, it's probably the only thing that I'm terrified of. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't have an ego when I'm dealing with that. I can't have an ego when the divine creator can look at my life and say, hey, you need to come home, because he's already done it to me twice. Sometimes the divine creator himself will sit you down and say, hey, you doing too much. This is your scare. This is your one scare. This is your second scare. I'm not going to give you a third one. You better straighten up or you coming home with me. And I might send you someplace you don't want to go. So straighten up. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't have influence. I didn't have a physical influence to tell me that. I had something that I couldn't control tell me that. You understand what I'm saying? And you can't have an ego when something you can't control is telling you to sit your ass down somewhere. You can't. So this is why I'm a fly on the wall. I'm listening. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is stuff that I should have learned 20 years ago.
Right. And Chris, for me, I can tell you this from I'm not this guy that believes in the simp, alpha, beta. I don't believe in that, right? Because
I don't either. I think they just buzzwords.
For me, I'll tell you why I don't believe in it, right? Now, if you're talking about accounting, this and that, my chartered accountant is the alpha. You talk shit back here about this stuff, now I'm the alpha if you come into my world, right? And if you fuck with me, then you're going to see my alpha side. Pretty much I operate in beta because I get more welcomed in my beta, right? I get more welcome. It's like somebody telling a joke. Even though you heard the joke already, I'm going to let you tell that joke and pretend I never heard it, because I'm going to get more out of you after you're done with that joke, knowing you made me laugh, right? So the conversation is going to go further, especially if I want something from you, right? So you ever laugh when you're not supposed to laugh, but whatever, I'll laugh, right? So people need to understand. I don't see why there's this whole thing about men can't express emotion, feeling, laugh. I cry when I draw this thing. I have to put myself at that level. Now, to understand art is to understand and appreciate the finer things in life, because that's where art dwells. Now, if you got your ego, you're down here. You will never join the likes of art and go see a gallery and go see emotional feeling. You will never understand an opera because you don't want to get emotional because your ego is over here. And that's okay. But you just know that you're limiting yourself from things in life. So this ego, alpha, beta, no. If you're an alpha and you come into my world of art, you're going to be the simp of all simp because you don't shit, right? So there's the difference. There's a difference in it. It's like a doctor is a surgeon, bam, with that knife. I'm a surgeon with a pencil. You may be a surgeon with a hammer. So everybody has their alpha moments in their environment, right? I could turn on Randall's alpha the minute I go and try something with his family, and he could be the simp of all simps, but he's jumping in front of that bullet. So that there really is this whole alpha, beta. That's what stopped men from growing as men. All right. You have to be able to express it, be emotional, because you get more out of life that way. Now, I'm not saying you have to cry at every flower that opens up, and I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying there's more strength in being gentle than it is in being strong and brute. Right? Because if you see a baby and you got to let out that side of you because there's something that's pulling you towards having a child, right? If you're going to operate with your child, he's crying, you're not coming at him with an owl going, get up there, get over there, blah, 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 blah. He's going to look at you like, I'm not going to go near my dad anymore. I know I can let go.
Quit
right?
crying.
Right. I could have gone to my
those
parents.
Conversations might be needed at some point in time. Right?
Yeah.
But it's like you hit the nail on the head, right?
Right.
And you
I
go
could have
into
gone to
different realms.
Either way, Randall, either way, I could have gone to my mother, my father when I got emotional. But I chose my mother because she's the nurturing one. My father is nurturing, but I needed the nurturing of my mother. Now, when I need to fix the problem, see you, mom, dad, how do I fix it? Because the
Exactly.
the emotional side
That's exactly what we're saying about that protection part. I'm saying that protection part. The job of that protection, comes in different realms and different responsibility, different roles. And that's where we as men, race, creed, no matter what it has to do with it, that's where we got to step in.
Right.
You know what I mean? We step in to protect only because we know what right looks like. And you heard the military say, you know what right looks like. Fix yourself, you be all right. But we got to step in when there's those key moments, right? So I give you another part. I want to get out the military for two reasons. One, I'm tired of waking up 4 o'clock in the morning, right? The second part is my son's at a pivotal age. My son and daughter are pivotal ages. My son's about to turn 12 when I retire. Fisher retires, he's 12 years old. It is at that point where young men start making different decisions. So if I'm in the field for 45, 90 days, I'm gone for a year. I'm not, no. My time with my son needs to be impactful. So when he steps away, he knows that every time he picks up the phone or if he gets in a hole, the only end he needs, that daddy got me. I know my daddy got my back. Like Doc said, we got his back. I can protect him from no matter where I am, the funds he needs. I can take care of you because that's my role as a father. That's my role as the protector of my circle, my 4 people, excuse me. I'll cue my dog as a person because he's big as hell. But my 4 people.
Oh, Jesus.
But you know what I'm saying? But that's my role and that's my job. So now, like Antoine said, the people around me protect me. So spiritually, when I need protection, I have a conversation with somebody I trust that can guide me in that realm. Emotionally, I might have to have the conversation with my father because I can't cry with my dad. I can't cry with my other cousins. I can't cry with one of my boys. But I have that physically. That comes in the form. I'll be honest. That comes in the form of. Antoine said it one day. He said the last podcast when he knew his boy wasn't a fighter. Hey, I got your back, dog. I'm gonna step in on this one. You know. And in relationships, it comes in. Sometimes you need a group discussion about what girl you talking to or what decision you about to make, because sometimes you let your other head get ahead of you. And you make that dumb decision, you put a ring on it, and now you in court talking about God, dog, boy, I done made you got that balance, your checkbook look on your face, and that's not what you want. So if again, Antoine, I'm not going to disagree. If you don't have it in your life, go get it. If you don't got that wolf pack, if you don't got that man, if you don't got and sometimes it don't have to be a man older than you. That's what somebody. That's why people don't
That's
understand.
true. Wisdom don't come with age.
So, because somebody, I had a soldier that was talking to me one day. He's 22. I'm 30. He said, "Yeah, it's RT. You know, my wife over here tripping, talking about the plate for tomorrow. I'm worried about the plate for the next 5 years." I said, "Huh? Run it by me again. I never thought of it that way. Run it back. Come back. Teach me something. Protect my interests now, please. I need that." And you you get it. And next thing you know, it's like little keys. It's little keys. And that's when you know you're an impact on somebody's life. That's when you know, okay, I can do this more often. I can put myself out there as a mentor. I can put myself as a protector. You know, because in the home is different. You know your son gonna listen. If he don't, he be like, all right, you gonna come back and see me. You know your daughter gonna listen. You know your wife, hey, baby, you know, come on, come this way. Let's fix it.
Yeah.
But when you start making an impact outside your home, that's when it changes. That's when we know we're doing the right thing. We're protecting each other as men, protecting people as though we should be. And just like y'all said the last podcast, sometimes if you continuously to make a mistake, after the third one, that becomes a choice. So I'm going to choose not to involve myself and continue to let you make that life choice on your own. And when you need me, I may or may not be here. It's my right to take away what I'm given, what the protection I'm giving to you. It's my right, you know. And like Brother Ali said, I'm not a sacrificial lamb. The only resource I have in my life that I will always run out of is time. That's all you got. So if I'm giving you my 1 minute is $1, and I give you 100 minutes, my $100, and I don't get nothing in return, I don't see you develop or make something of it. Hey, look, dude, look, man, you got one more. You got one more minute. There's one more dollar in my time, because I can be spending that time on a person that would use it, that can use the protection, that can use the guidance, that could use the support.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
you're never
I
too
know
old- and
I
you're
keep
never too
hearing
old
it.
to find people, eh? Hey, Chris, I'm telling you right now, you're never too old to find mentors. You're never too old to find that father figure if you never had one, right? But you gotta put your ego in check, get it out of the way, so you could see him. Because you ain't gonna see him with your ego, or you're embarrassed to talk to him. You're not gonna see him, bro. If you put your
You
ego
talking to
in front of
me? I
finding,
know this.
yeah, if
Yeah.
I
you put
know
your ego in
this.
front of finding people, you will never see the person.
Yeah.
That's a
You
fact.
guys, a couple of you guys didn't hit on the child support. So you know what? I'm gonna bring this question back up here. So,
Oh
what are some
shit.
ways that men can protect themselves from the wrong woman? What I do not want this to
Boys,
turn into, and I know none of us do, is to turn this into a hate fest and
Oh
bash
no.
women session. So definitely don't want to do that. But I know sometimes we could be in the barber shop and we can start ranting. So I do want to keep it, um, with the conversation going forward and stuff like that. But I know we talked about what are some ways men can protect themselves from the wrong woman, because you end with the wrong woman, you may end up in a situation where you're paying child support for a child that may not be yours, or worse, or who knows. So if anybody want to
Yeah,
start
you want to
with,
protect yourself from the wrong woman? Think with the right head. All right? Think with
be
the
check
right
He
one.
balanced,
has a
right?
point.
But
Check
I
one.
mean,
He
That's
has a
it.
point.
hey, hold
Check
on
one.
now.
That's a nutshell. All right?
Yeah,
Every
that's it.
time
Think with the
evolves
right head.
people.
You can either ruin your life for the next 18
Every
to
what?
21 years by thinking with the right head.
Time
Or you can
evolves
think with the wrong
people.
head, whatever you want. You know what I mean? People tell me, oh, this and that. Oh, I didn't know. No, you
That's
thought
the simple answer.
that is
And
the
if that's the
That's a good
simple
start.
answer, and that's the
That's a
easy, and
good
that's the
start.
easy solution. But the reality of it is, most men, especially at a certain age, are not really thinking with the other head. You know what I mean? Most
right.
heads are just kids are out there. They're just trying to get some. They ain't really trying to get nobody pregnant. They ain't really trying to be in a relationship. Yada yada yada. But how do they protect themselves? Because I mean, when we 17, every woman looked like the right woman. You know what I mean? To a certain extent.
I
Every
I don't
relationship
know.
is 50-50. It's either gonna
Well,
work or it's not. You either want it to work or
I,
either you don't.
mm,
So
Uncle Junior, I wonder though about that. And then not that I
what's that?
disagree, but
Which part?
I don't know.
Swig of beer. You might can
That
feel it.
saying that when you're 17, everyone looks right. I mean,
Not.
I
I'm
think
just
one.
mean it. I don't mean it literally. I'm just saying a 17-year-old
Mhm.
mindset. Dudes are not necessarily. I don't think they're really looking to be married at 17. So I mean more so
Good,
if they're a laxed mindset when it comes to being with
good.
women. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
good. And even
Yeah,
25, good. And then 30,
yeah.
good. No, I'm
But
just, no, take your time.
I think
What,
it's
what,
a lot of young men at the same time who thought when they were
mhm.
17, we was like, oh yeah,
So
this gonna be my girl. I'm gonna marry her at the
so the
same time. I
what,
think
question,
see, right there,
oh,
that's what I was going to say. It's where your head is at. I hear you, Brother
mhm.
Randall. I'll wait.
no, that's my question. What, and you're talking about protecting men from choosing the wrong
Yeah,
support
the
system,
wrong woman.
support women in your life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I say this right. A part of it, how we protect it, is you got to be willing to say, hey, you got to be willing to have that conversation with somebody else. This is what, if I give you an example, if I'm already married, so if I'm getting married tomorrow, I say, hey, I want to get married. This woman I met her for a year, yada yada yada. Hey, Uncle Junior, what you think? You might be like, well, you know her credit score, dog? Nah. Hey, you met her family yet? Nah. But what you mean? What's that mean? Wait, look, dude, check it out. It means this, right? You need to investigate. You know what I mean? If you have different religious beliefs, preferences, blah blah blah. What's your plan on where you see yourself at 50? Where she see herself at 50? You got to have the conversation. It sucks to say it. It sucks to say it like this. If you are in a relationship and you don't have somebody to say advise you in that relationship and give you sound advice, not just like, look, dog, buy the bag, buy this, chase no, sound, actionable advice where you can apply it and you can see legitimate results. That's the protection we got to give young men. Hey, I know you thinking about, you like this girl, everything, but in my situation, my soldiers leave and come back different bases all the time. So I'm about to marry this girl, you know what I mean? We gonna PCS together. Whoa, y'all went to base. That's all you did. You 19. You ain't do nothing yet. You
Basic
still
training marriages.
you still out there trying to figure your life out. And then what's going to happen? You're going to involve a child. You're going to involve this, and now you got something you got to take care of for the rest of your life without even recognizing. And then you haven't seen that person get upset yet. So now you don't know what the real colors is, because like you said in some of these questions, these women beating on men. You know, so you walking around getting your butt whooped, coming to work with a black eye. I didn't know she was like that. Did you ask the question? So how we protect that situation from happening is approaching, having that conversation with the young men that are looking, that'll say, hey, I'm interested in a woman. Okay. Do you know these certain things about that? Does she know this about you? Do you have your ducks in a row? Are you solid as a man right now? And if you're not, I would suggest not to put a woman into your life if you are not solid. You know what I mean? Are you busy running the streets? Yeah, you can't get mad if she run the streets. You know what I mean? Like you gotta bring the information to them, and you gotta be comfortable bringing the information to them. Because let's be honest, we've all made bad girl decisions before. I gotta go from that one.
Okay.
Here's my couple little steps. Mine's real simple. One, you need to know what your end goal is for the woman, first of all. Two, you need to be whole yourself, right? And you need to know what type of woman you need in your life, right? Once you know that, then that's when you go after said woman. And this is saying that the end goal is to be married or to be with just this one woman. So those are kind of sort of what I think, would protect men from having the wrong woman. At the same time, you still could pick wrong. You know what I mean? You can have a really nice car, BMW, whatever like that, 2 or 3 years, it just start clunking even though you're supposed to, just because it just end up being one. Like you said, after a certain amount of time, people start revealing themselves, yada, yada, yada. But I'm saying those are some of the key things that I think will help protect men from choosing the wrong woman.
Let me tell you what's going to help protect men, because you guys are all off track, and I'll tell you why. Okay? And this is why
all things are true.
This is why you're off track. Okay, my father said it.
Remember, I'm married and Antoine is not. So,
but this is why. Yeah, but this is why. But this is why I never picked the wrong woman. Right. This is why I'm not divorced. Right. Because my father always said, "Son, think with the right head." But I'm going to tell you this: in the heat of the moment, you ain't going to think about my advice. You're going to think in the heat of the moment when she's right in front of you and you're panting. I'm the last person you think about. So you have to ask yourself: is this the woman? Is this the woman I want to spend the rest of my life seeing? I want you to know how to protect yourself. I want you to always wear a condom, because besides that one, if she's sleeping with you, you don't know what she has between that legs, right? So you're going to learn how to protect yourself. right? Because if she's giving it up to you, she's giving it up to everybody else that you don't know about, right? So whatever number she tells you, multiply it by 2. So young men today, no matter what we tell them, they're going to do what they're going to do when it's in front of them, right? Because you put a dessert in front of a kid, he's going to eat it before supper. So, and that's our dessert. So young men need to know how to protect themselves from getting a girl pregnant, because they're not going to listen to you straight up about picking the right one. At 17, I didn't want the right one. At 17, I was thinking, I want to fuck every girl in every country to see what it feels like so I can narrow it down to one. That's how I was thinking at that
Oh,
age.
Jesus.
I was in heat. I was like 17. I was in heat. You know, you're the doc. You're doing cardio. You're doing karate. You're doing boxing. You're doing soccer. Man, you wake up in the morning. You got the biggest TP that ever. Right. So my father always said, "Son, you are not gonna think about me when that woman is in front of you. I need you to protect yourself. Right. And I need you to know 2 things. If she don't form a proper sentence, you ain't bringing her home to mom. Right. Period. If she's not educated, you ain't bringing her home to mom." Then I went to my mother. I said, "Mom, you know, I found this nice girl. I kind of like her." My mom just looked at me and goes, "Did she spread it to you yet?" I'm like, "Oh, Mom, spread it for me." "Yeah, did she spread it for you?" I said, "No." "Is she making you earn it?" I'm like, "I guess. I mean, went to the movies a few times. So she's making you earn it." You know what, son? That might be a keeper. What do you want her for?" I'm like, "Ooh, you know, I didn't think about it like that." So I backed myself up. And I said, "Oh, okay, I get it, Mom, I get it." She goes, "Son, I'm not going to tell you don't sleep with them women. You're 17, 18, you're a grown-ass young man, right? But I am going to tell you, like your father, to protect yourself. But I am going to tell you, if she spreads it for you early or she has a kid from another man, she's irresponsible. So make sure you double bag it before you go in on it, right?" And that's what she said.
Double bag.
My man.
That's what
My
she said to
man.
me. And she
I
goes,
never
"You know
heard that
what?
one before.
Don't worry." And if you go,
Yes,
and you know
I
what
have.
else she told me? My mother said, "You know what else she told me? Don't rely on her having the morning pill. Have it in your cabinet.
Have it yourself.
Have it yourself. Don't
See,
make her pay for nothing. Don't make her pay for nothing." Right? Because that woman is not going to ruin you for the next 18 to 21 years. My father was more like, "Do you want to see that face for the next 18 to 21 years? No." Again, my father, I'd come home to my father. My father would say, "Let me see what she looked like." "Whoo, you better not be bringing that one here. Keep that one outside. That one is not coming here because I'll throw you and her out." I only want to see the women in your life when you're at the age where it matters. Other than that, don't bring them home. Period. And I know you're not going to listen to me, and you're going to do it in the back of a car, movie theater, because I did it in the back of a car. I did it in a movie theater. The day I did it in my bedroom was the day she mattered. It mattered. Period. So you got kids today, that's how it is. I mean, porn is everywhere. Everywhere. You pick up any kid's phone and they have porn on it. It's the fact.
this.
Okay, you go to Instagram. What, you think Instagram models, there's not a 17-year-old kid looking at a girl in a bikini right now? And then as a father, you're going to say, "Well, son, you know what? Make sure she's a good girl. Make sure." Hell no. You're going to say, "Son, I get it. This is what I want you to do. Make sure you have your own condom. Make sure after you finish with the condom, you take it home with you. But just make sure it smells good before you do anything about it." You're gonna tell them the truth.
I can appreciate this.
And then
I can appreciate everything.
Like my father said, as you get older, when it matters, when she matters, and you have feelings and you want to take it to the next level, that's the only time I want to see her. All right? That's the only time I want to see her. I don't want no whole dresses around me. I don't want no cleavage around me. And if she can't form a proper sentence, I don't want to see her. Your mother and I want to see what matters. And when it matters, bring her through the front door. I'll have dinner with her. Then I got my own mature questions to ask her when you're not around. Because as an adult, I know what to ask her to see if she's serious or not.
Jennifer said something. My mom and daddy never told me to go out there and spread that seed. That was a dumb decision on my own doggone part.
Hey, man, I mean, come on.
That was a dumb decision on my own part.
You to do it anyway. They never told you because they expect you to do it anyway. You ain't listening to them.
This is how I made it to 41 with no kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Likewise.
I want to.
So there's some. I appreciate.
I had my fun. I had my fun. Fuck you on that. I had my fun. But I made sure I double bagged it. I made sure I took it home with me. I made sure it wasn't in the environment of the comforts of my home. I made sure I got my own car so I can leave. I made sure it was in the backseat of my car and not hers. I ain't stupid.
Yeah. No, I feel
That's all I'm saying.
I want to jump in on something because I appreciate everything that Antoine said. And I think another way of protecting men from the wrong women, and it's something that I'm pulling from what Antoine said, is talk to women. I think that a mistake that a lot of men make is only talking to men. Now, I'm
Yep.
not saying that men can't give each, like I heard nothing but good advice here, but that part, but everything that Antoine said, you're right, because like what what Uncle Junior said I've received, because that came from a wisdom body, but what Antoine said came from something that I think everyone deals with. Like, he spoke like everybody's been through that stage. Like everybody's been through that. We didn't care, we were rushing, we were hurrying up, so on and so forth. And I'm fortunate to have a sister and still have my mother. So I can say another way to protect yourself from the wrong women is to talk to women. It's good to have women in your life who can help you, because they can tell you about each other. Because trust me, it's something that I
Is
love.
there
And the man who thinks he knows women, I'm laughing at you. Because now don't get me wrong, it's not that we can't understand them, but when they go, oh, I know exactly literally everything that they'll do, I'm laughing because I'm like, okay, he's probably already been outsmarted and he just pissed right now. But whenever someone is humble, to say, like, I know what they're gonna do, but I'm like, okay, I'm listening to him. All right, because there's someone who's probably been tested, someone who's failed, someone who's passed. And then when you have a woman who can tell you, don't go out with her, don't do that. And there are things that women see that we don't see, like everything that everyone said. Like my mom said that to me. My dad wouldn't have known. He didn't know to say that to me. He wouldn't have said that to me because he's a man. You know what I'm saying? He's mannerable. He's not gonna talk like that. Not like that. But my mom was gonna be like, hey, so how many she said she had before you? Where she wanted to go on the first date? Like there's certain questions about character that a woman would know that a man don't know, because what we know is actions and feelings. Going back to what no, it wasn't, no, it wasn't Antoine. I don't agree that men, because I agree with Antoine when he said this. It's not that men can't feel, and it's not that we're not emotional. We're actually, in my opinion, sometimes more emotional than women. We have our own PMS period. As far as I'm concerned. But when we know how to control those feelings, right? Then the other piece of how to protect yourself against the wrong woman, you won't be wrong too. So knowing how to carry yourself. So one thing that I do tell guys in particular, I'm like, if there's something that you want in a woman, see if you can do it yourself. Because if you can do it, then you won't be dependent on her. And if you meet someone who's amazing, but they may not do this thing, wisdom can say, maybe you can work through that, because you see what I'm saying? Because you have like this thing yourself, so like, a guy says, I want a woman who can cook, yet you don't know how to cook. Now don't get me wrong, maybe you need someone who can cook because that's a skill that you are lacking, but it would be good if you went and had that skill, if you knew how to do it. So then that way, when you're with this person, let's say if they want to be flexible with you, you can show them how to do it because you know how to do it. So that's the other thing, that I'll say. So have women in your life who can help you, and then work not to be wrong yourself, you know, and then if there's something that you want from somebody, try to become that yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that. And this
Here's
goes for
something that
women too.
here's something that nobody really said. But I mean, you might have said it, but you went about it in a circle. The best way for men to protect themselves from the wrong woman is to have a standard in the first place. A lot
Wait
of
a
men
minute.
out
What
here
stage? Wait
really
a minute. At
don't.
what stage? Wait a minute. Standard at what stage of life? Because you can't have
You should
standards
have
at
a
No,
17.
since
You're in
being
the
a
heat of the
period.
moment at 17, 16, 17. You just want to get it. Come on. There's no
you
standards
should
at that age.
have a
There's a
standard.
standard then.
You should always have a standard. Always.
That- yeah,
The
come on.
fact that I'm not
I gotta agree
disagreeing
with
with you.
that. You know,
I agree
I'm
with
not
that.
dis I'm not
Man.
disagreeing with you, Antoine. When you young, you really are thinking with you thinking with your lower half. I'm not
At
If somebody
disagreeing
16,
look
with
17,
like
you.
mud,
goddamn, yeah,
Antoine,
I'm
you ain't
thinking
doing
at
it.
But
16, 17, you're looking for
Antoine,
when
four, man.
you are at
if
an
somebody look
age,
like mud, you wouldn't do it.
exact,
Come
but
on, Antoine. Even at
a
Come on,
17,
man. You guys
see,
are
doc,
being
he
unrealistic.
didn't do it. See, he didn't
Unrealistic.
do it.
hold
Mhm,
on, doc.
Unrealistic.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. There are been
mhm.
there. You cannot look at all of us on this panel and say you've never had a slow Tuesday.
You got to get the ball rolling somehow. You got to get the ball
You
rolling.
can't say that.
A slow
The
Tuesday
drought
means
is
a
real
fat one.
sometimes.
What
You
are
understand what I'm
talking
saying?
about?
No,
You
no,
have-
no.
but
I'm not
if you're
saying that I
talking about
haven't.
I
protecting
don't even know
yourself
what a
from-
slow Tuesday is.
Right?
It's
I'm
when
like,
look, man, listen. I listened, like I said when we was talking to Elliot. I listened to a lot of Patrice O'Neal. A lot of men fish to live, and a lot of men fish for sport. A lot of these dudes out here are hungry, so they are fishing to eat. A lot of us fish for sports. We get the woman, we show them the kind of woman that we can get, and then we release her back to the streets.
if she's
That's
not worth keeping, why wouldn't you?
and that's my point. You have to have you if she's not meeting your standard, you release her back to the streets. You have to have a
Don't
base
even
level
catch her.
of exactly. You have to have a base level. This is what I want. And if you are
Right.
not giving me this, I cannot have you in my life on a serious level. We can have fun. I'll go put condoms back on my grocery list. I'll go get the plan Bs, and then we can chill and we can do that. But you are not going to enter into my life for the long haul if you are not giving me this at base level. We need
I agree.
standards again.
Right. At a certain age. But I'm just saying, a normal kid, let's face it, she wasn't the prettiest thing, your first one. You just liked it because you were looking at the thing. She wasn't the prettiest thing you got. I'm just saying. Now I have standards because now I could lead, I can provide, I can do what I want to do. Listen, I would tell any woman today, I would tell her, if you're going to sleep with a man, at least make sure he's got A, B, and C together. At least he's got that.
Oh,
right now,
Lord.
if you like
Here
the
we
package,
go.
at least protect yourself so you're not stuck with him. That's all I'm saying. You know, you got a purse, you can carry it more than me. Mine gets hot in the pockets, in my back pockets. But if a woman wants it, because she has needs too, and the guy is fine, okay, do the right things, take the right precautions to protect yourself. All right, because you have needs too, just like
That's
he
a
has needs.
standard.
Standard. But I'm just
that's
saying.
a standard.
That's a standard.
It's a
That's a
standard.
standard.
She should have a standard to protect herself. But if she's going to do it, at least make sure the guy's coming from somewhere because you're stuck with him.
We have to, and
Jennifer-
that's
Jen's
why
point is
I
valid,
said
too.
we as men have to have standards. Because if we slip up and we do the wrong thing, we stuck with a low standard for life.
That's why I double bag it, like I said to you.
A
Double
low
bag it.
frequency woman.
I don't think we talk. Jennifer is talking like that. I don't think we're saying that the women are as a hoe. I'm not calling
Who's Jennifer? Who's
Yeah.
Jennifer?
She
In the
I'm
comment,
gonna
right
read.
here.
I'm gonna read
In
it.
the comment.
I'm gonna read it.
Oh, Lord.
From Jennifer Small. Getting with women with ill intentions and then mad they went along with it and then call them hoes. I'm confused, guys. From this conversation, I think women need to do better about protecting themselves. I will start by saying that this is a man's platform, so we are advocates for men's.
Exactly.
At
We're
the
not
same
calling
time,
women hoes.
so our talking points are going to benefit men. We're not here to say to smash or do anything negative towards women or anything else like that. It's just that we are focused on trying to help men. So our talking points and our views are aimed at trying to protect men.
Because we are the ones that get our asses whooped if we make the wrong
Jennifer,
decision.
Wait, but Jennifer, and I hope she's listening. We're not calling the women hoes, right? Because women have needs just like men. We're not calling them. Yes, there are hoes out there, but we're not calling them hoes. You know, I always say a woman's a virgin. When I get serious with a woman, she's a virgin up until she sleeps with me. That's it. I don't care about her. That she's a virgin up until she sleeps with me because that's the way I'm gonna treat her. Now, if she does, if she's not long term, I'm gonna treat her at the moment because I have needs and she has needs. A woman gets horny just like a man. We just express it more. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
And she's not a hoe unless you're going out there and everybody knows you. Unless I take you out and 10 guys tell me they've been with you, then okay, what do you want me to tell you? The proof is in the pudding, right? But women need to protect. If I was a woman, the first thing I would do with any man is I would establish what I want him for if he's hot. But most of all, I would make sure he has A, B, and C's if I'm going to spread it for him. Period. Because you know what? We're able to leave. Men are like dogs. You give us a long leash, we'll piss and shit anywhere. Women are like, and men are like dogs. That's how we do. You give us a short leash, we'll piss and shit right next to you. Women are like cats, temperamental. You got to stroke them the right way. That's all I'm saying. You can get scratched.
Oh, Jesus.
You can hear the purring sound. You
Oh,
can get scratched. You can hear the purring sound. Let's be real, right?
I love it here.
Let's be real. Let's be real. They're not hoes because I don't know your past. I wouldn't call any woman a hoe that I slept with. I wouldn't do that. Now, if I take her out and 10 of my friends say, bro, you been with that girl? So have I. So has Tom. So has Dick. So has Harry. I'm going to say, well, you know what, girl? I didn't label you a hoe. You kind of did that on your own. But we were good, though. We were good. All right? I'm just saying, why do you think people move away to Las Vegas to be a stripper? Because they don't want you to know about that here.
Yeah. Hey, y'all, just real quick. Randall has to run it. I know we wrapping up the time soon, so I just wanted to. I'll just say this. I think that you all have taught me so much this evening, and I appreciate it. And and I hope like the sister who said that. I know, and I agree everything, Antoine. I'm just going to a little bit repeat. Like what my brother Antoine just said. But I don't think that. I think that we've all really been talking about how to be better men in this entire conversation. I think we've talked about how to be better men for women, but we've also talked about how to be better men for brothers. So I didn't take that. I hope this didn't fit out. I don't say I apologize because I didn't say anything, but I know in particular we all hear that that's what we've been saying. We've actually been challenging men to be stronger and to be better men. I mean, from jump, men don't need protection. You see what I'm saying? From jump, you've had men in your life. I'm here to learn. From jump, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, I'm a father, So I'll just close by saying, brothers, thank y'all. It is good to meet Chris. It's good to meet Randall. It's good to see Antoine again. It's always good to hear from you, brother, and my brother Uncle Junior. So I
Hey,
just wanted
I'm
to say
wrapping
that.
it up. Hey, I'm wrapping it up right now, man. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody being out here, all the panel members. I appreciate your thoughts and information you share with us today. Thank you to the Most Elevated Chat on YouTube for doing what they do. And last but not least, thank you to everyone who tuned into the show. To make sure you hit the subscribe button on the way out the door. Check out the other videos on YouTube. All the things, blah, blah, blah. Next week, we are going to be talking about entrepreneurship, small business ownership, and the 9 to 5. All right. And then the week after that, we're going to be getting into that accountable masculinity finally. It could be back next week, but we already got the shows lined up and already did all of the behind the scenes work. So until next time, everybody else, y'all have a great one. We are out.